End of Boruto. Something that I feel a lot of persons wouldn't mind happening to a series they feel that should not have actually started. Welcome everyone, Sanju Uchiha here, fresh off work, and I thought, hey, why not get a video together to kick off the weekend for, the Uchiha faithful tomorrow. But yo, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing great. It's the start of the weekend by the time this video goes up at least, and today we'll be tackling a major topic, the end of the Boruto series. It's a topic that I've been thinking about a little bit here and there over the course of this particular week, especially with me covering the shortcomings of the series over the course of this past week, and well, or at least relatively speaking, or at least recently speaking, with some of my recent videos, I've been tackling some of the shortcomings. So, I think this is a suitable follow-up to all of those videos. So, of course, before we even get into it, be sure to subscribe. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Of course, I would Uchiha-kali. No, that sounds stupid. Uchiha-kali? What? Yo, I'd humbly respect or appreciate the help on this journey to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. Let's build a community. Hit that like button if you enjoy what I have to say, and just leave a comment. Let's discuss the topic at hand. So let's get right into it. So the topic, the end of the Boruto series. Now, I don't know if a lot of persons know this, but a few years back, probably 2 or 3 years ago, Ukyo Kodachi, the current writer of the Boruto manga, and I believe to a degree does supervise the anime, but essentially there was an interview with him, which I hope I can find back to put in the description below. There was an interview with him where he was essentially stating how long he planned for the Boruto series to be. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but his plan in that interview, or what he stated at least, was for the Boruto manga to be 28 volumes long. And, or at least, well, let's at least break it down and do the math first. He wanted the entire story of Naruto and Boruto together to be at most 100 volumes or within 100 volumes. For those of you who don't know, Naruto, the story itself from chapter 1 to 700 is 72 volumes. So if you do the math, yes, Kodachi wants Boruto to be 28 volumes or less. Now, I don't know, again, I've been saying this a lot for this video, but I don't know if you know this, but with the coming chapter of Boruto, chapter 51 for this month of October, it marks the end of volume 13 for the manga. So, yes, as crazy as that sounds, yes, we are nearing the midway point, or just about halfway, or at least as of, let's see, November, December, January, February, we'll be halfway into the Boruto story, which is pretty crazy given the shortcomings or objectively bad or poor execution of the story so far in certain areas. So it's crazy to say. So I guess going with that information in mind, the big question is, should Kodachi actually still go ahead with ending Boruto within 28 volumes given the information, or given what we've gotten already? Now, my answer to that question is surprisingly not black and white as yes or no, because it's obviously both. And I'll tackle why I say that. So let's get right to that. Now, let me just kind of brainstorm here, but essentially it's a yes and no for me, because yes. All right, let's go with the no first. Let's go with the idea that no, he shouldn't end it within 28 volumes. Now, a lot of times authors in recent memory, like Ichiro Oda with One Piece, there are times when authors have said like, yo, they're gonna end the series within X amount of time, and obviously because of all the things they have set up in the story, and probably I'd imagine after a certain amount of time they say like, yo, no, I actually need more time to execute this the way that it truly deserves, and by extension of that, the story, or probably a 5-year story, can turn into a 25-year story in terms of publication for these authors. So that's the crazy part, and who knows, that might be the case with Kodachi. Now, given that Boruto as an entire a franchise has always and continues to come under heavy criticism regarding its lack of, I would say, well structured or well developed villains, or whether it be the main characters not getting enough time to develop, like Mitsuki and Sarada. Most of you know who, like most of you guys that out there that actually read the Boruto manga know that it's mainly like Boruto and Kodachi getting like most of the spotlight. So from the villains to probably the main characters lacking here and there, to probably the fight choreography not being all that, and you know, Boruto in general just fighting an uphill battle with the Otsutsuki name in terms of getting them to be credible. Well, they're credible in terms of like threat, but you know, compelling villains essentially, or antagonists generally speaking. Yeah, Boruto still has a long way to go, I would say, from the perspective of all those points I just listed. So with that in mind, you would think that 28 volumes, if we're really entering the halfway point, as of chapter 52 in November, then I mean, you'd think, I would feel from this perspective that yeah, Kodachi is actually going to need more time to actually flesh out the Boruto story for the manga. So yeah, there's that perspective. But yes, on the yes side of things, I actually feel like he still could, you know, end it within 28 volumes. So let's say another 50 to 60 chapters essentially. That would fall in line with what he, well, the calculations I did in my video when I actually covered that specific interview with Kodachi, where I was calculating from about 2017 for the story being 7 more years. So by now we're 2020, so there's 4 more years of Boruto, or 5 most if you do the math, really and truly. So yeah, but the point is, when you go to the yes perspective of things, right, and it goes back to the problems I was addressing with the representation of Naruto and Sasuke in the fight with Isshiki, it kind of goes back to that as well, in that Kodachi seems to, or at least the way that the Boruto franchise is set up, the manga doesn't seem like it aims to go too much in depth with a lot of things. In that previous video I just mentioned, it was specifically the fight choreography. But yeah, it seems like he doesn't go too much in depth with certain things. And based on how the Boruto franchise is set up, there's like right now it almost seems like the Boruto anime is being set up for as the definitive edition of the story when you really look at it at the end of the day, as depressing as that is. But the thing is, if he's not going to get into too much detail, it's just, you know, every arc we're getting to the point where almost writing a exaggerated outline, similar to like say like a Dragon Ball Super, where Toriyama would write like an outline and the anime fleshes out and Toyotaro fleshes out. But in this case, this is like a super higher version of like that situation where Kodachi is drawing the manga, but he's hurrying to get to the point of what he's trying to say with the story, and then the anime is going to really and truly flesh out things with the manga, as it should be with like any, you know, manga to anime adaptation, but even more so with the Boruto anime. And if that is the case, he could probably tell all he really needs to tell within the 28 volumes that he aims to actually write, and then when it comes on to the anime, he can really supervise and actually flesh things out the way he wants with the anime. Because the realization, or the simple truth, the simple fact of the matter is that the Boruto franchise is we've moved from an author, well, we've moved from the original author. Essentially, Kishimoto has told the story he wanted to tell, and we've moved from that that whole sphere of that fact to essentially, for lack of a better term, us milking the franchise. But alright, just in simple terms, it's become very corporate, essentially speaking, between the manga, the novels, the anime, etc, etc. So with that being said, Kodachi could actually still end it within 28 volumes, and then through his supervision of the anime and the other writers at Studio Period, they could actually flesh things out for, you know, the development of all these other characters. You know, like case in point, like the other members of like Boruto's generation who've had like heavy, there's been a heavy emphasis on those characters within the Boruto anime versus just obviously them being non-existent in the manga. So yeah, it's not as clear cut as, you know, yes and no should the Boruto, you know, series end within the 28 volumes. So yeah, but hey, that's all I have for this one. I thought this could be a fun topic of discussion with you guys, just to at least kick off the weekend, to say the least. But given that Boruto as a series, I don't think it's at the level where it should be. I think this is a topic that a lot of Boruto fans, or not, or Boruto fans or haters, or those who are in the middle of the road, like I would consider myself to be, can really sit and talk about. Because I don't think it's as black and white as yes and no. You know, should Kodachi end it within the time frame that he says he planned on ending it? So yeah. But anyway, Sanju Chia here, guys. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. This should be going up by within the morning, hopefully. So yeah, hope you guys stay safe. You know, wash them hands, become Obito the masked man, and just stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next video.